Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Erie County Public Library in our beautiful Hurt Auditorium. We are thrilled, really thrilled to be able to host this, the 10th annual performance of Women of Words and a Few Good Men. It's our mission to really promote the arts and culture throughout Erie. And here at the library, we are very excited to be able to support poets with weekly readings, with some publishing opportunities, and with the cultural support that we hope is meaningful to everyone. So I don't want to take any more of your time. You're not here for me. You're here for Women of Words. Thank you.
Thank you, Blaine. Welcome, everyone, to WoW, Women of Word, featuring a few man-made words 2021. This is the 10th anniversary celebration event. Welcome newcomers and those from past shows. WoW has always tried to be the voice for the silent. Thank you, Heidi Blakesley, for the very cool emo cats music to get seated by. And I always love our jam sessions. You may notice that Maribeth McCarthy is noted in your program. She had a bad fall and is unable to join us. We all send our healing vibes and best wishes her way. We thank Giselle Luttrell for stepping up as Weather Gal. Please silence your cell phones and devices and hold any applause until the end of a scene. Thank you and enjoy our show. Here's Thasia Anne to start off year 10.
It is my honor and pleasure to welcome you all to WoW Year 10. From a small, tiny seed of an idea to a long-running staple of Women's History Month at Edinburgh University.
Take camera 3.
Sporting dance scenes, music, lights, action camera. From the chapel on the hill to the little black box on Barry. Then Alexander Music Center, Debo Theater, and now Hurt Auditorium. My dream come true. With all of you here as my witnesses, the cast has changed, characters all. The success is in no small part to all of you. The tasks, the subjects are serious and always take the ride. Year after year you abide and keep your hands inside the car. We've all come so far to arrive at this night, and I for one am delighted you are all here for the culmination of year 10, my friends.
All right, poets, please come out, and I will start as we share any negative feelings we may have had over the years preparing for WoW. Intrusive.
Hectic.
Exposure. Complicated.
Terrified.
Lonely. Lots of pressure.
We will begin this evening with New This Year News. Live, because that's better than dead, is our WOW News and No Sports reports. Heidi will keep us up to the minute, and our weather girl, Giselle, will check out whether or not you know or understand each side of the situation.
All over the country, even in tiny pockets of townships, there are tribes of renegade poets. Like little groups of chickenpox, very contagious. They attract instigators and hip dregs. The verve sometimes swells out through their towns, bringing in 1, 2, 5 more, 50 more poets. If they were in power, the uprising would come down on any given Saturday night. Word missiles dropping knowledge pox on the people with no known cure. Has COVID left anybody else feeling isolated around here? I know it has me.
Everyone is away. Eggs still white, baskets dusty in the basement, treats bagged and boxed to travel. It all unravels at the end, on the fringes of a lifetime. Once our arms were full, but today, everyone is away.
Whether you ever suffered from isolation, introspection, or you enjoyed the quiet time, Eliza Borzon is here to help bring you feels as she dances to 610 by Dodie.
I feel like a 6 out of 10. I've gotta get up early tomorrow again. What goes on behind the words? Is there pity for the plain girl? Can you see the panic inside? And making you uneasy and tired. What goes on behind the words? Is there pity for the plain girl? I'll close my mouth, I won't say a word. A note of pity for the plain girl. I know that you don't want me here. 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 I know that you don't. I'll just call a taxi. I know that you don't gotta get up early tomorrow. That you don't. I'll just call a taxi. I know that you don't gotta get up early tomorrow again. What goes on behind the words? Don't gotta get up early tomorrow. Is that pity for the plain girl? Don't gotta get up early tomorrow. I close my mouth, I won't say a word. Don't gotta get up early tomorrow. I know there's pity for the plain girl.
Thank you, Eliza. That was beautiful. We understand that the COVID isolation caused stressors on many levels. There's been widespread concern that the COVID-19 pandemic is leading to a mental health crisis. Depression and anxiety tend to be fed by uncertainty, isolation, and job loss. All of these factors have been more prevalent during the pandemic. Given that depression is the #1 cause of suicide, this increase in depression and anxiety has led to concerns. We also realize that domestic violence has risen during the pandemic and can affect all genders, religions, socioeconomic, and educational levels. Isolation is one of the ways a partner has of controlling. No one close by to easily run to or call. The victim has no transportation or bank account. Those are all ways to isolate someone. We will now quietly peek in on a current domestic violence support group.
You're going back. It's my fault.
Welcome back, ladies. How are we feeling this week?
If only you had wanted a marriage partner instead of a woman to demean with screams. If only you had wanted to share your dreams instead of ripping me apart at the seams of my sanity. If only you had wanted my tender, loving heart instead of burning a hole beneath its precious parchment skin. If only you had wanted a finish your sentence soulmate instead of reaching into my soul with unkempt fingernails to scratch me raw. You should have provided me a place where my peace was wrapped in your arms, always wrapped of your charms. Instead, I tried to force my brain to understand the inconceivable. However, one cannot make sense of the absurdly unreasonable. So if I was so bad, why fight so hard to keep me? And if I'm so fat and worthless, please just throw me away. But instead, he locked me up in his dungeon of a relationship where I stood in my cell, rattling my cup across the bars for attention. I picked at cement pieces with raw fingers, trying to claw myself free. You be you and just please let me be free.
I never loved you, and I never wanted you. He said it once, and I heard it over and over again like an echo. The anger in his face made tears in my eyes, flooding like dams, breaking, crushing my soul into fragments too small to ever be whole again. Once words leave lips and travel to the ears, it's no turning back. Right? In my head, I envisioned all the times I told him I loved him, and it was from the heart. All the times I pledged myself to his many causes, thinking I proved my love for him and loyalty time and time again. And I held my head up to the sky and I plead to the Creator to relieve me of this pain that I felt in my chest. I was almost sure it would kill me. Lord, I just want to die. This is too much. I thought about how I fought to keep him, how I pleaded for his attention and constantly craved his affections, which with every day passing became less and less. Then I realized that he was right. He never loved me, and he didn't want me. I just was too blinded by my own desires for him. That day, a little more of what made Lucetta died. I never was the same.
Thank you.
Well, I held my head down for so long, Giselle. I found it difficult to look up. I was covered with cobwebs of despair and leaves of brittle nerves to brush off, but I couldn't rush off. But I did put one foot in front of the other, and he could not smother my soul. He could not control that little voice inside me that whispered, he's wrong, and you are somebody, and you are on your way to somewhere. And Lucetta, I'm here. I arrived.
Wow, that was very powerful, ladies. And now we will have dancers Mia Adelhart, Elena Dolan, and Lily Kahns of Sovereign Ballet, reminding us that we are all human.
you believe me? If all I do is fake it, can anyone hear me? When all I've got is noise, and my opinion is the loudest voice. We're all human, our hatred is useless. We all have a heartbeat, even though it might be aching from the love we don't feel inside. Oh, we're all human. We're all human. I don't wanna be wrong, but I'm not always right. My words aren't for killing you, they should bring you life. My lips are for speaking the remedy, like saying I love you to my enemies. Oh, we're all human, our hatred is useless. We all have a heartbeat, even though it might be aching from the love we don't feel inside. We're all human, our hatred is useless. We all have a heartbeat, even though it might be aching from the love we don't feel inside. Oh, we're all human. Oh, we're all human. Right on our hearts so that we believe. Open up our hearts so that we can see. Put your hand in mine, skin to skin, we're all human. Right on our hearts so that we believe. Open up our hearts so that we can see. Put your hand in mine, skin to skin, we're all human. We're all human, our hatred is useless. We all have a heartbeat, even though it might be aching from the love we don't feel inside. We're all human, our hatred is useless. We all have a heartbeat, even though it might be aching from the love we don't feel inside. Oh, we're all human. Oh, we're all human. We're all human. Oh, we're all human.
That was absolutely beautiful. This section of WoW is brought to you by Snapdosatril. Are you tired of feeling tired all the time? Try Snapdosatril. Not yet FDA regulated, Snapdosatril is the go-to choice for anyone looking to have some more pep in your step. Literally. Snapdosatril releases tiny chemicals into your feet, which slowly rise up through your body like a wandering womb. Before you know it, your feet are tingling and you don't know why. It's because of the Snapdosatril. You can tell it's working when you literally have to keep walking around because the chemicals in your feet are burning you from the inside. Not to worry though, we have the drug crapo shit, which can cancel any bad side effects of the Snapdosatril. Snapdosatril side effects include constant runny nose, blurred vision, outbreaks of arm cysts, red coloration to the elbow and knee, spontaneous fainting, spastic farts, and death. Ask a doctor if a drug with 32 pages of side effects is right for you. I take it, and I'm looking for Smokey the Bear right now because my feet are on fire like the Burning Man Festival. But don't take it from me. Ask your doctor if snapdosatril is right for you.
Well, we're not only about women at WoW. Statistics show that although PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder or syndrome, can be caused by any major trauma, such as domestic violence or a childhood trauma, the majority of cases we currently hear about are service members returning from war. About 8 million people have PTSD in a given year. 1 in 13 will develop it at some point in their life. PTSD can be treated, and trauma survivors can feel safe and live happy and productive lives. Effective treatments for PTSD include different types of psychotherapy, talk therapy, or medication.
So Matt, how's it going? You still writing?
Some mornings. Some mornings the sunrise is the poem, the news on the radio, and the hum of my TV is the poem. Some mornings it's coffee and cigarettes, eggs and bacon. Some mornings the poem is a flock of birds, the echo of dogs barking, and the clang of the delivery truck outside of Larry's market. Some mornings my dark kitchen is the poem, my silent prayers, my morning shower, and the kiss of my sleeping wife is the poem. Some mornings the poem is everything and everywhere except on the page, because some mornings it is far better to live the poem than to write.
Those writing exercises, are they doing any good? Helping you out?
Maybe today I live my finest hour. Maybe today I get washed in the blood of the Lamb. Maybe today I write the perfect poem, get the best kiss, make a new friend. Maybe today the ghosts finally leave, my mind finds peace, my medication takes hold, the chemicals in my head rebalance, and I fear no one, embrace all, hate no one, forgive everyone, even me.
Dreams, how have your dreams been?
Dreams of lions in winter, of blackbirds on power lines like music notes in white air. Dreams of cancer-killing machines and radio-controlled happiness, of machine-run lives. Dreams of childhood, not your own, but the one you wanted or deserved, like dessert after broccoli. Dream of Buddha on the road, or Jesus walking on water, turning loaves and fishes into petroleum and dreams.
You still feel like you're making progress?
I want to live my remaining days like jazz improvisation, switching to suit, emotions and circumstances unrestrained. I want to fly like a flock of geese doing ballet in thin air. I want to write about the secret life of whales from a typewriter on the bottom of the ocean. I want to love hot and hard enough to catch fire, then run screaming through the desert at midnight, calling your name.
Is working, you feel comfortable staying on this treatment path?
Time is an illusion that needs a special home away from angry saints, German novelists, and complex carbohydrates. Because not every day will be full of kind birthday wishes or spaceboy books, safe schools, and working class politicians. So sometimes it's best to think of Moses on a motorcycle running from Egypt, and class action lawyers doing Tai Chi on the mountain by the burning bush. Because not everyone should strive for progress instead of perfection.
All right. Well, since my time was over before yours began, I didn't see what you saw. I didn't hear what you heard. I didn't feel the scorch of that sun. I don't remember those ambulances full of brothers in arms. Since my time was over before yours began, I was not there with you. Since my time was over before yours began, I don't know when or where you lost those little pieces of your soul. I do know that feeling that you're a multi-dimensional jigsaw puzzle with missing pieces. I do know that you need to find all of the parts, that they are not where they're supposed to be. I do know that the search for those parts can be torturous and seem never-ending. Since my time was over before yours began, I know that whenever and wherever you need a partner in that arduous task of finding those pieces and putting them back in place, I'm here with you, here and now. So I'll see you next week.
Yes, my old friend, I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remain within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking. People hearing without listening. People writing songs and voices never shared. And no one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fool said you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words and I might teach you. Take my arms and I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops fell, echoed in wells of silence, and the people bowing to the neon god they made, and the sign flashed out his warning, and the words that it was forming, and the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls, in tenement halls, and whispered in the sound of silence.
We are proud of her decision to serve in the military. And thank you, Matt and Daryl, for your service and continued bravery in sharing your stories. We will now move into another looming segment of society, those who are homeless or continually on the verge. Over the next 4 years, fallout from the pandemic is expected to cause chronic homelessness to climb 49% nationwide. This is according to a new study by the Economic Roundtable, a California-based nonprofit urban research organization. The analysis predicts the homelessness crisis will peak in 2023.
That moment when you make your last stand, you take a sigh, a deep breath, and you prepare for your end. Surprisingly,
with your back against the wall, backed into a corner, and you see life's woes all around you. You can fight your way out, but repeated attempts in times past left you too weak, too tired this time. Just then you look, you pray, and suddenly clarity comes to you. Wait a minute. You're staring at the sky. The sky has no boundaries, right? It's limitless in all. You have to do what you do to reach the sky. The sky has no limit. God has no limits. Space is unlimited. Instead of meeting your demise, thinking this is your end, this is only your beginning.
It's been rough.
Yeah, it has been so rough that I don't know where me and my kids are going to go. $8.25 an hour. It's not enough to survive. $8.25 an hour, 40 hours a week. I can't afford a home to sleep. Daycare, food, transportation, rent, too expensive just to live. You have to be rich to live in poverty. The economy isn't poverty friendly. $4 for a box of cereal. I make $8.25 an hour. It's a half an hour's work for a box of cereal. Oh, there's my bus.
Wall of the pit is steep and terrible. The climb is arduous and endless. The situation is dire, and I leave parts of me behind. Blood on the wall from my shredded fingers, my handprints, stains of red, added to others, old and new. Blood on the wall, making my hold treacherous. Must place each grip securely. Reach, place, hold. Reach, place, hold. Blood on the wall, running down my arms. Muscles ache with fatigue. Need to ease this inelegant burn. Blood on the wall, an extra weight on my back. The price of the climb. Required payment, dripping back into the pit. Blood on the wall, all for the climb. Must remember where I came from. Climb. Must determine where I'm going. Climb. Must not look back down. Climb. Keep my eyes on the wall. Climb. Watch my grip. Climb. Must look out for those who are falling. Climb. Must not forget those who have fallen. Climb. Blood on the wall. Climb, climb, climb. Blood on the wall is the price. The proof that I have fallen and I am climbing back out.
Wow. And now we move back to the news desk and Heidi with a report just out.
Tonight's top story, hope for the homeless? Yeah, right, nobody should be homeless in this country. I could cry for the want of peace. Imagine it, the whole planet calm for once, a whiff of innocence. People coming out of their houses, smiling at neighbors because there's no violence. Husbands coming home cheerful, wives not fearful. Women jogging in the night, hot sneakers whizzing by in safety like cheetahs. No guns in open spaces, no hatred, no need for cops' guns or their tasers. Peace like this, I always crave it.
Well, Heidi, over here, I'm super confident about whether who am I kidding? Whether you believe it or not, even I have self-doubt.
Of PA educators as COVID continues. This has been a crazy time. We're all going around some kind of bend. We're all looking for an answer, ripped from the headlines indeed. Let's see how our newest wowier, Giselle Luttrell.
Two more, try to open every door, but they're locked, and the seconds don't stop. I see the light, but I still need proof. Alone in the dark, I'm accustomed to the noise. Will I ever hear my voice? Tell me who vision that I first saw. I should go ask that little kid in the back. I wish I may and I wish I might, but only I have the power to end this fight. Let go, and maybe then I'll know. Tell me who. Without you. Caught up in the thrill of the merry-go-round, I'm learning how to walk on solid ground. Tricks I tried before aren't gonna work this time. Truth will be revealed if at first I find who. Without you.
Thank you, Giselle, for letting us take a look at who you are. Many students, adults, and even seniors go through times where they are certain they should be able to do better, look better, love better, and yet they almost despise themselves.
When your brain pushes the wrong chemicals around and your synapses slow, leaving gaps in lucidity, don't worry. You aren't alone, though your brain wants you to believe it. There are other people out there that get it. You just found one.
How can I pledge my allegiance to my country, to my flag, singing anthems and hymns of something I've never had, freedoms and equality? Those words mean little to someone like me. My sin? Never fitting in, born on the wrong side of the tracks. When you struggle to come up, the system keeps you down. Indecisiveness is an unknown disease for the rich. Survival decisions, the rich is granted immunity. Wake up in the morning and your kids are hungry, little money, cupboards are bare. Do you dare make a choice? We can't have both, kids. It's either bread or toilet paper. Catch-22, bearing the shame of a capitalist society. The poor are poor, the rich feel entitled. We are supposed to be upward moving from our 99 to their 1%. The system is designed to keep the rich rich and the poor poor. And the dumb, well, remaining numb to the realities of things, and nothing changes. The government leaves you with $1 and they take $2. I thought you knew. Poverty, people are starving, no one is sharing, no compassion, no caring. What happens to our poor, our elderly, our weak, unemployed, the abused, our young, people who are deceased, believing lies? What about suicides? Broken family ties and lost lives, and only the strong survive if you're rich enough to live this life.
I come from the bowels of the Tatra Mountains. I come from the sinew of the Polish manor house. My blood flows from the wine presses of Napoli. My resolve rises from the 7 Roman hills. I was birthed in America. Blood of my blood, flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone, they all claimed me. When my feet touched the earth, I was at once alien and kinsman. I belonged nowhere. I belonged everywhere. I look in your face, seeking to find myself. Your eyes do not see. Like a Grecian bust, they gaze empty, reflecting nothing that has been, discerning nothing that will be. You cry, but the tears are mine. The pain you feel passed first through me. I take your hand to find my way. Where do I belong? Stray strands of my hair become home to the birds. I send them on the wind with a kiss and a prayer. We are entwined through endless generations. Must the earth receive me back before we can be one?
I will never know. The flower is born and then buds, and each day as dew drips, the sun warms, and it opens up petal by petal, smiling sweetly at the sun. Another day, another performance, another day, another performance, and then a petal falls off. Until the day there isn't enough petals left to open up, and the flower never knows ahead of time when that is. And I have lost enough petals myself now.
Thank you for sharing your innermost fears with us. Remember, we are all human. So keep your eyes and ears out for each other. When you see someone struggling, reach out your hand. Be kind. Hey, Heidi, what do you have to add?
Use your energy reserve however you need to. Don't beat yourself up if you get quiet sometimes. Even when you feel smallest and most tired, your heart is still pushing your energy out into the atmosphere. You don't even have to do anything. Just being alive is enough. You don't need to worry that you aren't worthy. If you're ill, people might roll their eyes. People will show you their true selves. None of this matters. Eventually, if enough of your vibes get nurtured in laughter and honey, you will hum like a Swiss watch with a positive vibration.
I like that. And now Thasia has our WoW anthem.
Women are everywhere, living their life, and some of them are living with difficult strife. Women are beautiful, glorious, wise. Some of us scarred, scared, or denied. We make choices each day that last for all time and direct our ways that don't always rhyme. We love our children, we love our pets. We're women with none or many regrets. Women of color, or barely any color at all. We are women weak or strong enough to fall. Women who roar or cry behind doors. We are women with none or many a score to settle, with or without regrettal, or fears that we hear in the dark of the night. We live fierce or with much fright. We are women who love men. We're women who love women. We hate anger. We hate hate. Give us a wilted weed and we appreciate the effort, the comfort that comes from a child's sticky kiss, the kind of love we miss when they get too old to hold mom's hand. We're women who bury mothers. We're women who bury others too difficult to mention. We're women with so much attention to details who late in life avail ourselves of education and true relationship with our sisters in arms. No foul, no harm. And as we age and turn those pages to write our stories with honor and glory, we are women of word or no words at all. We are before you to answer the call. We are women. Hear us roar!
And now for something completely different. Wow, how you like us now? 10 years strong, do you want to know how? Thasia, Megan, Daryl, Marge, real words that ain't no farce. Jack Warner reading limericks. We cover difficult topics for the hell of it. We love it for the glow we always get. Speaking truths of our experience. Wow, how you like us now? 10 years strong, and I'll tell you how. Someone cancels, cannot make it. Parking lots in distant places. A barn, a room, a church will stage it. A place to spit, and we'll just take it. Snow, sleet, rain, and ice. The show will happen day or night. Our crew can do it all. It's usually Bear, James, and a Raw. Cat, Cookie, Barbara Borzon, poems about life and honeyed ham, and we will read till the curtain call. I promise you that that's not all. Real lives of free-for-all, but we hope you came and had a ball. Thasia will give out the carnations. The show is free, no donations. We'll all stand strong. Incantations, successful year 10, mad ovations. Hope you're going home and tell your best friend. I'm Heidi and I'll rap until the end. Lines about life and death shenanigans. Hit me up in blast, go tell your friends.
Oh, that was great. Well, you know, everyone has past struggles. The majority of our cast has survived some very serious past struggles. Tonight we'll hear about a few.
When Monday is under green lightning and love is a check you can't cash, when morning falls into your cereal unexpected like a stink bug, and happiness is a leaving train you watch and want to jump in instead of your morning shower, and the ride to work, and the whole life you made when you forgot what it was you really want.
There was a time when I was comfortable in crowds. Loud noises didn't wake me with a panic. Crying babies weren't central to my nightmares. Hunting was a joyful challenge and not a fight for self-control. I could sleep in someone else's bed. There was a time when all of these things were impossible to imagine. Luckily, times, they are changing.
I watched my mother contract polio and kick it to the curb. And talk about pick yourself up by your bootstraps. She had to do that with only one usable hand. Life wasn't difficult. She turned every obstacle into a personal challenge. She could tie her sneakers faster one-handed than I could with both. We all learned adaptability. I learned how to crack an egg and open it one-handed. I ironed on the wrong side of the ironing board and had no clue why. One time, as a 30-year-old shop worker, I was sweeping the floor, and a coworker asked, "Why do you do it like that?" I had my right arm wrapped around the broomstick and didn't use my left because I learned my normal from my disabled mother. And I realized that day that normal is just the setting on your dryer.
And now we have that gorgeous voice of Giselle Luttrell again with another original song about past struggles entitled Don't Forget Who You Are.
It doesn't happen all at once. It's a little at a time. You don't notice it at first, then it's taking all your worth, and all of a sudden you find you're giving everything you can. Every part of yourself. Your esteem and confidence soon run out of defense against the war with someone else. But don't forget who you are. Forget who you are. Your strength will abound when life knocks you down. It's how you've gotten this far. So don't forget who you are. There's beauty in the breaks and learning from mistakes and letting time heal your heart. Pick up the pieces one by one, and eventually you'll stand with both feet on the ground and nothing but the sound of your dreams making demands. So don't forget who you are. Don't forget who you are. Your strength will abound when life knocks you down. That's how you've gotten
That was absolutely gorgeous. Thank you, Giselle. Gosh, when I was growing up, vomit was a perfectly acceptable color for home decor. Everyone had dark paneling. Furniture was chunky. You would need an axe to break it up. Everyone had one of those scratchy velour couches with orange, brown, and tan patterns. People began to get microwaves, VCRs, and answering machines. We sipped sugary juice like free-flowing nectar. I didn't even know what diabetes was. We had 3 channels on TV, and they usually showed golf on weekends. I could get up at 5 a.m. and catch Rocky and Bullwinkle by myself before anyone else in the house got up. Reagan was pres, and for the most part, people were pacified. I read encyclopedias to learn things. Books were the only real indoor escape I had. I could go wander around in the woods all day without any Amber Alert going off. My boundaries of distance were just as far as I could hike or bike, unfathomable today. I used to get chased by blood-hungry dogs anytime I went past that neighbor a quarter of a mile from home. I would whiz by them going as fast as I could on my strawberry shortcake bike, and then gratefully coast down a hill, my heart pounding in my throat. People did things like collect stamps, skip rope, and vacation at SeaWorld. Decks of cards would make card castles on the living room rug all afternoon. We didn't need anything else.
So true. Is your glass half full or half empty? We are not always in control of what happens, but we are always in control of how we respond. Let's find out how some of our poets respond. I'll begin. Embryonic urges calling me back to the incubator. My substance was formed, informed, deformed, reformed. Now I am a speculator taking bets against my future. With rear view vision, I'm on a collision with hope. Hope and fear. It's not a career for the weak.
Calamity has befallen us. Please concede to me some of your time and forbearance whilst I elucidate. It has been brought to my attention that we are allowing some of our great words to fall into disuse and be forgotten, or worse yet, abusage. Now, this will be difficult for some of you to hear, but do not be aquiver with shock or dismay. Alas, even I have abused have a difficult time. I've abused our common working vocabulary, and I am ashamed to admit it. I hear you. You all ask, what? How did this happen? How did it come to mean that so few recall that to can't means to till? The pundits tell us that an active and living language must change. They call it growth. Verily, our language is changing, it being alive, but still I must ask, is all change progress, or all progress positive or growth? I say thee nay. We cannot permit this deprivation of our social vocabulary. We are a community of many hues and shall not suffer the vile durance of an acromatous language or be bedeviled by lack of word use. We, writers, as wardens of word lore, must endeavor to maintain vigilance and perseverance in the preservation of our audacious or even archaic word use. Save our words! Reintroduce and make use of our fantastic words. Lead the charge to prevent ignorance from absconding with the veritable cornucopia that is the American vocabulary. We must advance them to the first line and hold with them to the very conclusion. It is dependent upon us to offer sanctuary to these exiles from our pocket dictionaries and thesauri, yet not fall into the snares of verbosity or redundancy, well, usually. I, for one, will be a bastion for such orphans as bisextus, pang, yen, not the Japanese money, and nookery. In closing, I charge us all to seek out, recover, and protect, as a knight-errant, those disavowed ancestors and elder siblings of the oft-used vocabulary, refusing to be an abdicant to our etymological birthright. I thank you for your gracious attentiveness.
My pet peeves, ignorance and a lack of common sense. See, natural selection normally would have sought you out and eliminated you. Technology, advancements, and meds through and through, luckily for you, saved you. What would this world be if natural selection was allowed to run freely? I imagine a world very empty. Why do we spend billions to keep these people alive? Money, aid, technology, dumb signs like this sign I read at the airport. Don't walk in back of engine, it's hot. Yep, that was a real sign of these times where ignorance bliss that people love to wallow in. If I said it before, I say it again. Allow these dumb people to defend themselves. They've been alive way too long with our intellectual help. Let's save this world one smart person at a time. For those who think and speak their minds, quarantine us. Help stop the spread of dumbness before they multiply. Be more of them and less of us. God forbid their closing in. Being stupid should be one of the deadly sins. I'm concerned. Anymore, it seems like some people are adored and even felt sorry for. Unfortunately, intelligence will be like the raven, nevermore.
Team Dodgeball. I was the frail little scrawny girl that they always picked last and went after first. And then in 6th grade, Pat Wagner, the kid who was already like 6 foot and the hero, was up. Ball in hand, he looked right at me and smiled. I knew this was it. I could see the blood in his eyes. And the ball hit me in the stomach so hard that it took me off my feet. I hit the floor wham on my butt. I couldn't breathe. I gasped air in. And through the fog, I could hear cheering. And I felt shame. Then I looked up and it was my team cheering. And I looked down and realized the ball was still wrapped in my arms and I could taste red rubber, and Pat Wagner, mouth agape, was out.
Today I wrote a valentine to the whole world, to love that whispers in a screaming world, to the fruit on the vine and the birds on power lines outside my house, to everyone I ever loved and everyone I never met, to the headstones in every graveyard and to everyone roaming the streets of America and out in the world beyond my vision. To my wife and children, to my mother and my father's memory. I even wrote one to myself just to say I love you anyway, despite your failures and fears and all your imperfections. I love you like wind after rain, like the moon and every star after the clouds lift and disappear. I love you today, like there is no tomorrow.
A song exists for every variance in human emotion and vibration. Metalheads like to let off righteous wrath to arrangements of meticulous noise, headbang until they see stars. Rap fans want to feel a downbeat comrade thumping with them about how real life is and how luxury is in the mind. The classical music people are perfectionists, the soul lovers, deep-hearted and funky, the polka dancers, confused but whimsical. The opera lovers, probably drunk on wine and pulchritude, they know who they are. Rock and rollers, generally extroverts, feeling A-OK with hitting the beach. Country, for people who take long walks on dirt roads, work and move mares in their barns. Hymnals for those who can't sing, but who try anyway. Indie rock for those unique masses who want to hear something they've never heard before. All the myriad types of sounds reflect our beings and allow for our individual transmissions.
Poets, please give your positive spin now on year 10 of WoW. I'll start. Opportunity.
Elucidative.
Mindful.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, our new hostess, and did a marvelous job, Miss Barbara Crone.
Thank you, Daryl. Daryl Brown. I see that. Lucetta Cookie Manis. Music by Giselle Luttrell.
Purple hair.
And she was our weather girl as well. Matt Borzon. Heidi Blakesley, our new rapper. And dancers, Eliza Borzon and Mia Adelhart, Elena Dolan and Lily Kahns of Sovereign Ballet, headed by Christina Maria. And of course, we couldn't do any of this without the crew. We have James Trevison, videographer Bear Lunger, Cam Media, Tom Balos.
They're all up in there.
They're all there. Ed Domowitz, Alex Staley, Brandon Montgomery, and of course, the gal who had the idea and was told it couldn't be done, Thasia Anne. And if he's out there, and I think he might be, I would like to introduce our current Erie County Poet Laureate, Dr. Chuck Joy, who has done so much to keep poetry alive. Thank you, Chuck. Every year, the cast was a little different. Those in the audience who have been in WoW previously and would like to, please stand up as we call your name. Now, this is quite a catalog of names. I don't know how many of you are out there, but I will try to make my way through here. Dawn Shepler-Shimp, Barbara Tan, Megan Collins-Mingoy, Kat Wolper, Farman Wolper, Peaches, Poet Joe Gallagher, Jose Otero, Cameron Barrett, Amy Doty Pryor, Brian Pryor, Mark Smith, Chelsea Smith, Joan Isert, Paul Isert, Michael Milk, Sukanya Berman, Alexis Carney, Marissa Mox Unger, one of our previous poets, poet laureates actually, Maribeth McCarthy, Sean Taylor, Sophia Kassir, Brett Fallon, Jamie, Mark Valentine, Marge Warner, Jack Warner. Just think, 5 professors, 2 world-class dancers, several social workers, 1 poet laureate, and an adjunct instructor teacher, previous held at 2 universities, all in this one-of-a-kind show that started right here in Erie County, PA. And it's more than okay to love Erie. So we thank you all, Raymond Blasco Library, Hurd Auditorium, Erie Arts and Culture, Sovereign Ballet, Patrick, Blaine Desi, Tom Balos, audience, cast, crew, lighting participants, camera folks. Have I left anyone out? I think I covered it all, didn't I, Thasia? Yes. All right, thank you all so much.